All right. Thank y'all for bearing with us, being patient while we get a little bit of a later start tonight. A couple little technical gremlins reared their head, but we will not be conquered by technical gremlins. We figured it out, and here we are. So, I'm really enjoying doing these Wednesday night streams for y'all. I so appreciate the feedback that we get, the questions that get asked, getting to tell you all about what happened last week, what's about to happen this week. So what happened last week was Saturday night, we had our Save Tipitina's stream. I'm going to try clipping this on somewhere else because it didn't like being clipped on there. So there we go. So last weekend we had our Saturday night Save Tips, and we had awesome performances from so many different artists, and I want to give a shout out of thanks and gratitude to everybody that tuned in and contributed and donated, and also to all the artists and musicians who contributed performances. We had performances from Willie Nelson, Les Claypool, Billy Strings, Galactic with Ivan Neville. I mean, just so many great performances. It was so awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. So I just want to shout out to everyone who tuned in and everyone who contributed on that. Special shout out to Robert Mercurio, Paul Peck, Ben Ellman, David Foster for making all of it happen. And it was really something special. So that was last week. Coming up this week, Saturday from 12 to 2. Well, we don't want to talk about it too much, but we'll be having our Bloody Mary bar, and we haven't really started promoting it yet, but my engineer Nick will be playing with his band, the Jump Hounds, out there. So that's going to be nice. We've been doing the Saturday Bloody Mary thing when weather and COVID permit. It's outdoor, socially distanced, masks are required, and we serve from the side window. Nobody's allowed inside the building. So that's coming up this week. And Joe Ashlar will be back on Friday night for the Friday night happy hour. So lots of stuff happening safely, responsibly, and we're trying to do what we can as we can. So, all right, without talking too much more, I want y'all to think about anything that y'all want to discuss, talk about. Y'all can submit questions, and we are streaming to YouTube and Facebook, and we're getting all the questions, and Nick will be looking at those and fielding those and shouting them out to me.
Got 'em all here.
So I like to do these now where I play a little bit, so we have not just drummers but fans of music. Y'all can ask me anything about music, Tipitina's, Galactic, other bands, other projects. Get your questions and topics of discussion ready and let them rip in the comments. Nick will be reading them and will be shouting them out to me after I play this next tune, which is a tune off of my record With You in Mind, which was a tribute to Alan Toussaint with tons of guest artists. And this one's going to feature one of my favorite soul singers of all time, Mr. Cyril Neville. And we're going to play this one right now.
Ready?
I've seen my body line stiffly at my feet. I've seen my soul creeping out my chest. Bow my head towards the east, victim of the west. Mother, mother, just look what they done to your son. Visions of dumplings dancing in my head. I'm not gonna worry, I might wake up dead. But if I die fade. Father, Father, just look what they done to your boy. Father, Father, just look what they done to your boy. Mother, mother, oh, now look what they done to your son.
All right. And as I was playing that, I was thinking about all the other great musicians and friends who were on that track, including Mike Dillon and Skerrick. Nicholas Payton was on that one. David Torkanowski, James Singleton. So that was a lot of fun to play that and hear those guys and think about the making of that experience to make that whole record. So I want to give y'all an opportunity to discuss and talk about stuff and questions. I usually like to start off with some general topics, music, life, which was the title of that last song. Of course, that was a Dr. John tune. So shout out goes to Dr. John, who we also had contribute a performance on the Save Tips benefit stream. So, engineer, what are you reading up there?
Ooh, figuring it out. Sorry, I'm just breathing. That was in the audio wormhole for a second. So how often do you change your setup layout, like moving drums around, moving cymbals around, things like that?
Okay, that's a great question. And right now it's been pretty stationary, especially throughout this whole COVID situation. I've been trying to figure out some things that I can do with what I have. Although when I start laying down drums to start recording a new Galactic record, I set up like completely different stuff. Like I've got these Remo Mondo snares, 10, 12, 14, and I'll use like the 10 and the 14 as toms and then like set up the 12 as a snare and use a Nyabinghi drum from Jamaica as a bass drum and use like different, all kinds of bizarro stuff. And I'm looking forward to doing some more of that. I'm going to set up another corner of the studio and start setting up some Bizarro kits and experimenting with some of these different stickings and things that I've come up with, and experimenting on different sounds, because that makes you play different stuff. It makes you think of different things, makes you hear different things. So we're going to start getting into all of that.
Sorry, that's me.
And we're going to start getting into all of that, and I'm going to start filming some of that and having fun with it and making loops for my friends and you know, recording, filming different stuff. So in a while, but over time, I have a lot. And I wish we had like a portable camera. Maybe we'll do that. But right now I'm looking at all this Pete Engelhart stuff and all kinds of different bells and things with springs and LP pots and.
You want to use that foot cam?
Oh yeah.
Show them off on the foot cam.
Well.
I'll put it back in place.
All right. So let's see. Nick's going to show you the foot cam. We have a very short. We're all tangled up, Nick. Actually, we're not going to be able to do that, but Nick will try to do it. But you see, we're like, it's a little bit.
Stuff.
Yeah. So, but there's all kinds of wine crates full of stuff waiting to be played. So we're going to start doing that.
Stuff.
All kinds of stuff. So we're going to start getting into all that. But throughout this period, I've actually been busier than ever. I rebuilt Stanton Drum Academy. Nick and I filmed a whole 5-lesson course on shuffles. So, not to give myself a shameless plug on my own live stream, but hit it. Nick says, in the description, which Nick, you put that up, right? The 14-day trial.
Yeah, it should be the same.
And also, if you feel like contributing during this time, I can use it. My virtual tip jar is in there as well. But the 14-day trial, free trial for StantonMooreDrumAcademy.com is in the description as well. And I would love for you to come check out all the content that I've been putting together. Tons of video lessons, a bunch of video interviews now with friends of mine from these leather chairs over here. Adam Deitch, Keith Carlock, George Coleus. We plan to do a lot more, but obviously we've been limited lately. So there's also over 400 pages of written lessons in there, and an incredible community forum in there where we all discuss and guys ask me questions and makes me think of new lessons to write and then new things to film. So I would love for y'all to come check that out. The 14-day trial, and you got nothing to lose. Check it out. Hopefully you'll stick around. So, Nick, you have any other questions that we can throw out?
Lots of them, man.
Lots of them. I love it.
Nikos.
Nikos!
Super late.
What's up, buddy?
All right, he was wondering how it was doing your second live, Tips Live. Let's see, scroll. There's a troll on here, not a troll, but a bot.
There's a bot.
There's a bot commenting. If anybody wants to flag him, go for it.
So, Nikos, I guess you're referring to the second Galactic stream. It was awesome. It was fun. It's challenging to play in a situation like that where it's you know, stage lights, and we had extra fog because it was Halloween and we were doing a whole Spinal Tap themed thing, and then wearing the mask and the glasses, and the mask fogs up the glasses. So it's challenging, but you know, I wear a mask when I play to try to set a good example. If I can do it, then hopefully other people can do it too. So it was awesome. super fun. It's always great to play in tips and to play with my brothers in Galactic. And it just, I can't wait to play when we can get people in, but we need to do that when we can be responsible and when it's safe. So it was great, you know, it was really fun. It was great to play with Derek Smalls and play those tunes, you know, it was super fun. So I really had a great time with that. And then coming up, I'm also playing drums on the Last Waltz stream. And then I'm also playing drums with Dragon Smoke and the Dragon Smoke stream. So season 2, I've got 3 gigs. So I like it. Starting to get some gigs coming up. So Nikos, thanks for tuning in. I imagine, so answer in the comments, are you up? Did you stay up or did you set an alarm? But whichever way it is, Nikos is tuning in from Athens. And we love that he is tuning in. That's all.
Do you want some general questions or drum questions?
Let's stick with general, so we'll keep some of the
Are you
musicians and those keep the drummers too. You know?
You've been working on any new solo material?
Have I been working on any new solo material? The answer is yes, in the way that I've been working on writing drum lessons that I then film, and that's all me solo stuff. And then of course I'll be using some of those ideas on upcoming records. But during this time, I've tried to look at everything like a sabbatical and really try to catch up on some of the things that I haven't been able to do as much of as I've been playing and touring and all of that. So I've really been focused on the site and filming lessons. So, you know, Nick and I are in here filming a good bit. So I feel like putting out that shuffle course was almost like putting out a record. I mean, it was as much effort and thought and preparation and pre-production, post-production. And so I'm gonna try to put out a couple more courses, and then I'll be able to stream and record very soon from home. So I'm super excited about that. So the answer is yes, I will be doing some more solo records, maybe coming up sooner than later. So yes.
Nice. One person's asking about your Lunar Crash.
Yes, indeed. We get lots of questions about.
It seems like a lot of people want it.
A lot of people want it. Well, it should be coming out. I mean, I don't know when, but you know, there's a lot going on, obviously. But I've definitely been talking to Zildjian about them releasing it, and I am not sure when. But thanks for putting that idea in my head. I should reach out to Joe Testa and see what they're thinking on that, because before all this started really shutting down, we were talking about it for sure. So it'll be a good thing to touch base with them and see what we're thinking now that we're down the road a bit. But, you know, I'll play it for y'all if you want to hear it. I'm going to play some like super slinky New Orleans, I guess you could call it a swamp shuffle. But I played basically this groove on a tune that I recorded with John is Waiting. And Anders Osborne produced that. And I'm so excited that I get to play with Anders for the Last Waltz stream. But I love playing this groove on this cymbal. So I'm going to play this for y'all for a while. So when I'm playing like that, of course, the roots of it are coming from Earl Palmer, but then I'm also thinking of all the amazing times I've gotten to see my friend Carlo Nuccio playing drums, and he's a huge influence on me. He's a few years, maybe a lot of years, Carlo, I had to throw that one in there, older than me, and I feel blessed that I got to grow up in New Orleans and see all of these amazing drummers and become friends with all these amazing drummers like Carlo, Herman Ernest, Shannon Powell, Herlin Riley, Johnny Vodakovich, Russell Baptiste. I used to follow around and set up his drums. And of course, shout out to Zigaboo Modalist, and so many great drummers here in New Orleans. Raymond Weber, Willie Green. I came up when Brian Blade was just a couple of years older than me, and I must have wore ruts in Claiborne Avenue, going up and down from the Maple Leaf and Muddy Waters uptown, going downtown, and seeing everything from Johnny Vodakovich at Snug Harbor, while Brian Blade is at Checkpoint Charlie's, while Jeff Clapp might be up at the Dragon's Den, and my friend Kevin O'Day. There was just so much music, and there still is. I feel like I grew up at a time where, if you can imagine getting to see Russell Baptiste, Johnny Vodakovich, Herlin Riley, Shannon Powell, all in the same night, Brian Blade, all in one night. And this is, we're talking about 1994, 5, 6, and then we started hitting the road in 96. And I started touring a lot. But between 1989 and 96, I was all over the city every single night, checking out music, sitting in too. And I like to talk about this. Learning stuff online and watching is an incredible way to learn. But don't forget that seeing things live and in person is super important as well. So many times I'd be watching either Johnny V or Russell, and they'd see me and they'd be like, "Say, bro, come on up and sit in." Shannon Powell, same thing. And by sitting in and being put on the spot like that, I learned so much. And you don't get that unless you're live and in person. So I do encourage, once things are safe and once we can start getting out into the world, do go try to check out some of your favorite drummers in your own hometown and become friends with them. And I've gotten so many 5-minute lessons by offering to buy a beverage. It doesn't need to be an alcoholic beverage. If a cat drinks soda water, offer to get him a soda water and ask him a couple questions. And I've had so many great 5-minute lessons like that by going to see cats live. All right, Nick, you got some more questions coming.
Great follow-up question to that. Those are all the cats that you saw alive. One person asks, Mr. Angry Twinkie on YouTube asks, who is one musician or band you would like to jam with or take lessons from, alive or past, and why that person?
Who I would like to take lessons from?
Or I think a better way to shape it would be like going from all these amazing people that you've already seen. Who's someone that you didn't get a chance to see just because they passed or whatever?
Yeah.
Or someone that maybe could still be alive that you'd still really want to get a chance to check out and lesson road.
Yeah, who's not with us anymore? Elvin Jones. I got to see Elvin play, but I didn't really get to hang with him. I didn't get to hang with him. I did get to see him play. Tony Williams, I got to see play. But I would love to be able to spend time with Tony, Elvin, Philly Joe. I never got to see play. Art Blakey, I didn't get to see play. But Art and Philly Joe, but Elvin and Tony, I did get to see play. And I would love to get some time, would have loved to have gotten some time with those guys. as time continues, you know, I love Brian Blade. I love his playing. I would love to get more time hanging with him, you know, because he got to see a lot of those guys a lot of times, you know. And I would love to have more conversations with Brian about all of that. And, you know, it's great when I get to have conversations with some of my peers and contemporaries, you know, guys like Keith Carlock. Shout out to Todd Zuckerman, who's, you know, a couple of years older than me. But I feel like we come from a similar period in time and have listened to a lot of same records. Adam Deitch, I hope to spend more time with. You know, I love Adam, and Adam might be a couple of years younger than me. But like, you know, between Adam and Keith and, you know, these guys are like, to me, when we get together, we have so much to talk about because we, you know, came up during a similar period and have a lot of the same influences. So I like talking to my peers a lot too, because I learn a lot where they're like, man, I know you went down this rabbit hole, but have you gone down this rabbit hole yet? Like, you know, talking to Adam about like Cold Blood and Gaylord Birch and learning more about Gaylord Birch. And I mean, he's just one of the most funkiest drummers of all time. Just thinking about when I'm up. So, you know, of course, like Bill Stewart, man, I love Bill's playing. I've only gotten to talk to him a couple times, but, you know, these are guys that are around that I would like to.
Yeah.
Of course, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, and now that I'm playing the Last Waltz, I mean.
Yeah, someone asked about that. If you want to explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I got asked to do it this year. Terrence Higgins usually does it for the New Orleans version of the Last Waltz, and I got asked to be a guest, I think last year or maybe the year before, and you know, I've always loved the band's playing. I've always loved Levon's playing, but I haven't really learned all these tunes. So, you know, we've been doing things kind of week to week with Tipitina's and COVID and Tipitina's TV. So I got the call to do the Last Waltz only a few days ago. So I've been learning the music, and I've only had a couple days to learn it. And so I'm really digging in deeper into Levon's playing, and I got to meet Levon, and he's one of the guys I would have liked to have spent more time with. I did Groove Alchemy, the record and the DVD, in his studio. So got to talk to him a few times through that process. And then he wanted to get back with Gretsch drums, so I helped make that introduction. So when he came and played Jazz Fest, he had his drum tech reach out to me, shout out to Justin, and I sat in and played Deep Ellum Blues while Levon played mandolin. And I got to hang in his kitchen after one of his rambles where I opened for him with my trio with Anders Osborne. So, you know, I mean, it was amazing to get to spend the time that I did with him. And now it's amazing to go in and really try to learn these tunes and dig in to his playing. And it would take me a lot more time to really get further into his playing. I'm trying to do my approach and my interpretation and learn the tunes and not necessarily copy what he's doing, but pay homage to it in my own way. And it's been great to learn all of that. And Levon is definitely one of my favorites and one of the guys I would have loved to have spent more time with.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, topics,
yes.
gripes or complaints?
Gripes or complaints. Somebody wants to hear you play some brushes.
Somebody wants to hear me play some brushes.
And talk a little bit about it.
Talk a little bit about it. Who wants to hear that?
John Lee Hooker.
John Lee Hooker.
I don't know.
What's up, John Lee Hooker?
John Lee Hooker.
All right. Well, cool. Let's play some brushes. Yeah, I don't know. That was fun. Look, I'm just gonna have fun and I'm gonna play. So I'm gonna play on the sunny side of the street. And I'm not gonna attempt to sing because nobody wants to hear that. But I want you to sing the song to yourself and just hear me play some brushes. I'm a hint at it, right? But just check this out. I'm gonna be singing Sunny Side. Check it out. So I put myself on the spot. I haven't shared that in a couple of months, but that's one of the things I was messing around with during COVID was taking, so I do this. I do this crescent, and then if I'm gonna do that again, I'm gonna shed that, but because there was a couple little things that I want to clean up. So, but this is the concept. So I've been showing y'all that you can take this crescent in the right hand and then alternating sweeps in the left, right? Check it out. And I've been telling you, you can play anything with that, right? So a lot of you already have seen all that. You've seen me, demonstrate. You can do second line. I mean, we can go as far as funkin' 7. Right? All kinds of different things we can do with that. So I started experimenting during, the earlier parts of quarantine. Well, what if I turned it into triplets and then tried to play melodies, right? So check it out. All right, that's it as triplets, right? Kind of like a triplet shuffle. That's kind of cool. I just thought about it. I guess I could do like a halftime shuffle. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna check it out. Let me try it. All right, I'm gonna shed that because that could be cool. Let me try that again. All right, I'm gonna work on that. That's pretty cool. But so I'm already having ideas, and this is kind of how I shed. Like I start doing one thing, and it gives me an idea to try something, and I try it. I spend time trying that. But what I was about to show y'all is with these sweeps that I've already been playing lots of grooves with. I was like, can I play melodies with it? So I was like, let me pick a simple standard that, pretty cheery, something that hopefully everybody knows, right? And let me see if I can get the melody with it. Hopefully you could hear Sunny Side of the Street. Could you hear that, Nick?
I could hear it.
You could hear it.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe not everybody's familiar with that song.
Yeah.
If they're
Get
not,
your coat and grab your hat. Oh, jingle worries at the doorstep. Oh, right? Life could be so sweet. Oh, on the sunny side of the street. Like I said, nobody wants to hear me sing, but
well, if you don't know the tune, then you best get to knowing.
yeah, check it out. So, this is a long answer to a short question of can you play some brushes? And I'm just showing y'all giving y'all hopefully an inside look at some of what I've been shedding and working on. So, yeah, and that's some of what I've been doing is with brushes, working on playing melodies and different ideas, all utilizing that crescent in the right hand and the back and forth alternating sweeps. And that crescent, I've seen Gad do it. I know a lot of other people do it. And the key to it is, for me, I like to get the accent on the out. Because if you try to get it, you see how when you come in, you're hitting a dead end. You're dead ending. So you got to get out, not in. I mean, I guess you could, but you hear how it goes ticky, ticky, ticky. So that's what I'm doing, is out with a crescent like that. Hopefully that answers that request to play some brushes. I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I started messing around with that while I got asked to do that Vic Firth Brush Masters masterclass, which was super fun. I was super honored to be asked to do that, and I was shedding a lot of brushes, kind of getting ready for that, thinking about what did I want to show and what did I want to play, and so I started coming up with that Sunny Side of the Street by messing around with that and coming up with some different ideas. Okay, cool. Next question.
Just to stay on the brushes topic for a second, somebody's bringing up some Ed Thigpen.
Yeah.
Somebody's just talking about, one of his favorite albums is Mr. Taste. He plays some amazing brushes and plays melodically on the drums like he is the lead instrument. But this made me think about, have you ever worked out of that Ed Thigpen book? Brushes book?
I did. And Ed was an incredible player, incredible brush master, and I did get to spend maybe 20-30 minutes walking around PASIC with Ed Thigpen, which was amazing. Somebody introduced us, and he had to go over to a booth, and I had to go to the same booth, and then he had to go to another booth, and I was like, okay, I'll walk with you over there, and we got to spend some time talking and hanging, and 20, 30 minutes. But when he had to get in the elevator to go on, and after our 20 or 30 minutes of hanging, he's like, okay, I got to go to this, it's like a private meeting or something. He's like, young man, you seem like a good guy. He says, I'm gonna give you one bit of advice. He said, buy buildings. And that's what he said. And he got into his elevator. And then I talked to some people afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, man, Ed has bought a lot of like rental property and commercial property, and he's made a lot of his living off of buying property and renting it out and real estate. So one thing I'll show you that I did pick up from Ed, because it can be a challenge to try to figure out what to play in 3, right? You can get hung up trying to play in 3/4. So Ed simplified it by just swishing back and forth. So you'll notice it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So left, 2, 3, right, 2, 3, right? So he's just going back and forth. So that's brilliant, and that coincides where he's just going 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That coincides with what I've been telling y'all about when I'm doing the crescents and the sweeps back and forth. It's still, if it's in 3, you're going to be bottom 2, 3, top 2, 3, bottom 2, 3, top 2, 3. So I switched over to Ed's pattern there for the last measure, and then and added some backbeats in there. So yeah, I mean, Ed, what a great player, great guy, and yeah, thanks for bringing up Ed Thigpen. Awesome.
The man.
Yeah.
That's how I learned how to play brushes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I went through that. I went through just about every brush DVD and book that I could find, and I'm still, shedding and learning on brushes. I mean, I have my approach to brushes, and then I'm, constantly wowed by, guys like Jeff Hamilton, Gregory Hutchinson. There's so many great brush players in the world.
Yeah, someone just brought up Steve Gadd with Mangione.
Yeah.
Toy Soldier.
Yeah. I'd have to re-listen to that to find out which one is Toy Soldier. But Gadd does, he uses brushes in a beautiful, beautiful way. And then there is one tune, oh man, I'm gonna space on who the artist was, but where he basically plays his Steve Gadd Mozambique with brushes, right? So Steve Gadd Mozambique, a lot of y'all know that already. But then he'll do it with brushes. So, extra credit to anybody who can tell me what the name of that tune or who the artist is that he did that groove on. He's probably done it on a couple different things, but
It's a great groove.
yeah, it's awesome. Okay. Any other discussion topics, questions,
Let's see.
gripes, or complaints? It's 7:06. I know we got a little bit of a later start today.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody's. Let's see. Someone asked. Someone was asking about Sissy Strut and hi-hat pattern on Sissy Strut. I mean, I know you've talked about this one a lot, but maybe you can just.
I have,
quick.
and
This is what is it? Francisco from the Canary Islands.
cool. So Francisco, there's a whole. I'm gonna show you a little bit about it, but there's a whole lesson on 5 meters tunes based off the Ratcliffe beat, and that's in my drum academy, StantonMooreDrumAcademy.com. I encourage you to go check out the 14-day free trial and watch the whole lesson. And I talk about what Zig described as how he got to Sissy Strut. Basically, from a right left beat that a guy named Stanley Ratcliffe used to play back in the early and mid 60s, and Stanley was one of the first cats to ever do this. And it went like this. And now I'm going to morph that into Sissy Strut, but I'm going to start it a little slower, more at the tempo of Sissy Strut. Check it out. Cool. It's been so fun playing, talking drums. So yeah, I demonstrated morphing the Ratcliffe beat into Sissy Strut. Then I was like, let me just play for a while. So I played a little bit in the style of Zig, kind of like improvising a little bit off of some of his breaks, like the Old Calcutta break and the Look a Pie Pie break. between the bell and the snare and the bass drum. And then I was like, oh, let me go into some of the other things that I've been shedding during all of this time. And some of it even I can hint at Sissy Strut while over here with the left hand too. So it was fun to kind of improvise and create in front of y'all on the spot. It feels good to be on the spot. I miss playing live for people. That's part of why I keep doing this every week. At least I've kind of got like a weekly gig, even though I can't play in front of people really, unless it's outside, sometimes on the sidewalk. What's that?
You can play in front of me,
I can
man.
play in front of you, and you're my staunchest critic.
Yeah.
Man, we'll be in here, I'll be like, we're doing stuff, we're filming stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool, I think that was good. And Nick's like, I think you should do it again. Like, you can do better. So I appreciate Nick's staunch honesty, stark honesty. So
I just need to work. I just need to work on tact.
it's all right. We're past tact at this point. So cool. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Virtual tip jar is open. I do appreciate anything that you guys can help out with. That is always super appreciated. And StantonWarrenDrumAcademy.com 14-day trial is in the description. If you like the way that I describe stuff and demonstrate stuff, there's tons more where this came from. And I love interacting with y'all. Thanks for the feedback.
You gonna be doing it Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
To be honest, I think we won't be live the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but I might put together something to stream for y'all. Maybe like a little what's been happening. But yeah, we might put something together for next week. But I do appreciate everybody checking in, tuning in, and I love hearing from y'all. Keep it coming, and we'll see y'all down the line. Thank you so much. Good night.